Hey everybody, my name is Phil.
I'm Erika.
And today we're watching Euphoria, season 101, episode 1, I think.
It's called 101?
Yeah. Let's dive in. So, full transparency, we've actually already finished recording all of our reactions to seasons 1 and 2 of Euphoria. And we only learned about season 101 and these special episodes from comments on our Patreon. So, appreciate you for pointing that out. So, we might know a little bit of context. We're not really sure exactly what we're going to be learning in these episodes. I know one focuses on Rue and one focuses on Jules, but hopefully knowing what happens next doesn't kind of dampen these episodes anything. They seem to be pretty highly rated, some of the ones that people really enjoy, so looking forward to it.
Cool.
Okay.
Kind of excited actually to get back into this world.
It's been a while.
I'm glad how it ended, or how the last season ended.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of relieved. But at the same time, I don't know, I enjoyed the show, even though it was super draining.
Yeah. So if this follows kind of chronologically, this is just after like that prom thing that they went to and Rue and Jules separated at the train.
Oh,
but it doesn't
but
look
this
like
doesn't
it's
make
that.
sense. Oh my gosh, Sam Levinson. Oh my gosh. Oh, so good. It was like exactly what I wish just everyone would know about substance use and the people who use. Like, I don't even know where to friggin' start. He got into so much. And I don't even know how to articulate even what I want to say. Just how they had it. Obviously the story is about Rue, so I just love that everything. It's just
camera.
okay. It's just so much easier to receive content like that when you're watching it being told to somebody else.
Sure. You don't feel targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the way he did it, we kind of alluded to it earlier, just about he's experienced life. What he's experienced in life is so real. He's done with the BS. He understands. He's been through it, and he knows he's done enough wrong to have grace for his family, that they want to keep their distance.
Yeah, and he's completely understanding of it.
He understands it, and he has grace for that, and he's still wanting to, he's not, doesn't seem like he's just holding on to that, or dwelling on that, and he's still trying to move on and be a better person by being there for Rue. But yeah, you just feel it in everything that he's saying. It's wow, you've been through some stuff.
Yeah. And
in every area of his life. And I don't know, he's just so wise.
Yeah, I like the point that you brought up of it's easier for people to hear it being told to somebody else. And I mentioned it briefly while it was happening, right? She has to be in a place to receive that, because you can easily turn that off. You just get offended by something and then you're not hearing anything he's saying. You might even walk out.
Yeah.
But to have an hour-long conversation with someone, you're in a place where you can hear those hard truths and be called out. They have that relationship, obviously. It's not just a stranger saying this.
Yeah.
But it's important.
Yeah.
And I think
and you see the way they showed it, you saw the walls come down.
Yeah. But I think it also speaks to the internal struggle that Rue has, that she's not just walking away from it. She's saying that she doesn't want to try to get clean, but I don't think she would stay in this conversation and hear those things and try to reflect on them if she didn't, right? And she is genuinely trying, or at least reaching out for a lifeline here with him. And I don't know if you would receive any of that if you weren't trying, even though you're saying that you're not, and you feel like you're not.
Yeah, okay, this is the thing that I feel is so powerful about this conversation, because there's so many oxymorons. Like Rue saying, like, after, like, everything that she said he had an answer for, and she didn't have an answer, but she didn't have a response.
Yeah.
And she was saying herself, like, she understands, like, the whole, like, even in the beginning when she was, like, obviously high, saying, like, I have a life balance, and then out later on saying I have no balance. And then later on in the conversation when she was being more transparent and vulnerable, talking about how, like, believing she's a bad person and she deserves this, but at the same time, Ollie was able to bring out in her what she believes are, like, what she actually values, and how she actually does see herself, and she doesn't, like, there's so many oxymorons embedded in not only what she's, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, just in the whole conversation and what she's saying. Yeah, and but it's so easy to see where she's coming from. Like, it's so easy to see where each side is coming from.
Yeah.
After it's being, like, explored and broken down, but, like, that is, like, this episode did such a great job of just unpacking the complexities and, like, the metaphors that Ollie was using, his analogies. Like, I don't know where he was going with this revolutionary stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, like, that's good too, that's deep too. And then, yeah, having it come down to faith, and, like, that's the real that's the real revolution, that you need that. And then she always had something, not really to go against what he was saying, but it was like, but what about this, and what about this, that are all very big issues, and I think very real concerns for her, that are, I think, valid given where she's at. And, like, and I love that he never dismissed it. Like, he knows better. No, he knows better, but he never invalidated what she was feeling or what she was going through. It was always like, I get that.
Sure, I think overall, I think there were moments there where he was just kind of like, where he would just call BS on something that she was saying. Yeah. But overall,
for those things that, like, the highest, like,
the
things
higher
calling
stakes
BS,
ones.
yeah, but the ones that are like, whoa, this is very real to Rue, and this is life or death. Yeah. He never.
Sure.
Never dismissed that or called or I don't know, invalidated.
I think that's the other interesting layer on top of all of those really deep conversations is the fact that she's a teenager, right? And she hasn't experienced life the way that Ali has. She has the mind of a teenager. Yeah. That these problems may be the entire world to her, right? Because that's all she knows. And it's hard. For me, it's hard to like, I forget that when I listen to their conversation sometimes, because there are a lot of, like, really mature things that they're talking about, even, like, mature thoughts that she's putting together, and I forget to put that in context, and I think I do that throughout the show, right? You forget that they're in high school, and just because they don't look like it at all, just developmentally, it's different. And yeah, you're right, he does do a good job of, like, trying to meet her at that place, but still, it's just really, there's just so much, and I think he did a really good job of it.
Yeah, and this episode showed how valuable it is to have someone who's gone before you. Yeah, exactly, like a peer support person. Yeah. And I love that it wasn't just him. Like, he called on Miss Marshall. Yeah. That lady. That was great. Yeah, it's like, he doesn't need to have, like, I don't know, like, just showing Rue and the audience or whoever may be going through something like this, or know someone who's going through something like this, that
it's a network, right?
Yeah, totally. That there is support out there, and, like, all you have to do is ask.
Yeah, but the thing that I was thinking about in that moment when she was calling, so it's like, this is, like, this is why he's been able to get, like, he's surrounded himself, like, this is obviously a place that he frequents, like, he knows the staff, but he's surrounding himself with people just like he's trying to surround Rue, right? Like, he's done this, and that's why he's been able to have those longer stretches of being clean. So, I mean, it's part of it, I'm sure, like, to have that support network, or like just people around you that know and understand and are not judgmental. So yeah, that's great. And this is these episodes, these 2 episodes have been kind of characterized as like they're like character studies of Rue, and the next one is supposed to be about Jules, just kind of having a deeper understanding of who they are, what they're going through, maybe give more context and color to the decisions they made, especially if you watch it chronologically, what the decisions they made up to this point. So season 1, I'm trying to put myself in that place and see if it does that, and for sure, like, it helps a little bit with, like, understanding that kind of pain that she was going through at the end of first season. So it's good, but I think it kind of works the order that we watched it too.
Well, yeah, I guess we have some foresight.
But it also does the exact same thing. It's like it helps, I don't know, it gives a little bit more impact to certain things that happen later on. Like, I won't go into it too much, but like the confrontation between her and Ali later on in season 2, and how hurt he is, right? Like that. Like,
that does make more sense.
It makes so much sense now, and it's like obviously this isn't the only conversation they've had, and they've probably had tons like this. Like he alluded to, I love talking to you, but the fact that that is the basis of their relationship, these types of foundational talks, and him doing everything he can to like throw a lifesaver around her, that makes that whole arc and that storyline so much more impactful to me. So I think it works kind of watching it this way as well.
Yeah, and we know what it's like to have conversations like, well, not exactly like these, obviously, but I mean, like, to have those really deep, impactful, thought-provoking, it sticks with you. Like, those only happen every once in a while, like, and they are rejuvenating, and so, what am I trying to say? I guess the hurt that Ali had felt in the later episode is like, like, now I see how, like, that would cut.
Oh my goodness,
yeah. Because, like, I feel like he gave his all in this conversation.
Yeah.
And, to do, like he said, try to change someone's life or do good on this earth while he's still here. And can I get into? I can't get into season 2. But I just wanted to make a comment on what you said. New Year's.
We'll do that as like the last little bit before.
Yeah, as New Year's. Obviously, there's a whole other season where maybe things go awry.
You'll see it next week.
But I think the show does a good job of reiterating the reality of the disease. Like, I loved everything he said about, like, it's a disease, like how he broke it down from when she was a baby to how things happened to like why it happened. We don't know why, but it did. It's no different from cancer, and like just everything. Oh my god, I love that whole monologue. But just what we see in the next season, I think I love how it reiterates, like, this is like, even after having a conversation like this, like, I think in situations like these, when you have conversations like these that you hope are real and hard hitting, like, all you can do is just like pray you've planted a seed. And just let go of everything else and whatever's coming after. You can't force anybody to do anything, right? To follow advice. But it's the seed. That is the key, and is so hard to, like, it takes so much of you to just be okay with that and let that go after you've given so much of yourself. To just be like, all right, I've said my piece, and that's all it can do. And it's interesting now, now that we've finished season 2, to see how Ruse developed.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting side note with regards to like addiction being a disease. This is in real time. It's actually kind of funny that this is going to come out pretty soon. Side story: we're basketball fans, in particular Toronto Raptors fans, and this has been a terrible season for us. But one interesting thing that has come up, and it just happened like today, one of the players on the Raptors was banned for life from the league for betting and doing all these things. And one interesting storyline that's come up is like, in this instance, shouldn't the Players Association protest and talk about how you're being punitive to somebody that has a disease? Like, should it not be looked at as a disease, and like, can't there be some way around it, or some, I don't know. So like, it was an interesting conversation that like sparked a lot of debate and all the talking heads, and obviously a lot of people that are not qualified to talk about it in that way. But yeah, it just made me think of that because
I didn't
like,
realize that people thought it was a disease.
Gambling?
It was an addiction?
Gambling addiction?
Oh, he had a gambling addiction.
Oh, well, I won't get into it because I don't know too much about it, but that's the argument being made, that it wasn't a one-off thing. It's a pattern of behavior, and you know.
Oh, I didn't realize it was addiction though.
Yeah, I don't know. But interesting, right? Because people, again, like, people don't look at it like it's a disease. They're not gonna do a run for that kind of thing. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting timing for us to watch this and have that story being like fresh in my mind. Anyway, anything else that you want to talk about this episode?
Nothing right now, but I'm sure there's lots that I could say.
Well,
Like, throughout this video, I could have paused like maybe every other minute or something to be like, that line, what is it there? Or like, this was like, I could go off like on a tangent of so many things. But right now,
funny enough, like I was like kind of not researching, but like when we heard about these episodes, I started looking it up because I'd never heard of them. And then not only did I find that they were like some of the most highly rated episodes of the entire series,
wow,
but I started reading like just top comments from like the videos and stuff like that. And this is like, people put this on in the background, like to just hear the words and hear the conversation, and like it's sometimes it's like, for some people it's like a comfort thing that they just kind of have running, and they watch it and they revisit it all the time. So the idea of like rewatching and like listening to those little bits and pieces and catching things that you might have missed in the past.
Oh, I've missed.
Yeah, and I think that's something that people do, like that one, it's a testament to like the good writing, but it's a subject matter that people want to hear about.
Yeah.
And
yeah, this is true actually. Like, even like if this wasn't in the context of addiction, still everything he says is like really valuable.
Yeah, because you could take it at a surface level of like not necessarily addiction, but just like anything that you're going through in your life, and then like you could talk about the revolution part, you can talk about just like the mini problems that you're going through in your life, and still apply a lot of the things that he was saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely does still work.
Yeah. Also, his voice is just like so sultry. Like, oh my days. Doesn't it kind of remind you of like an older Dave Chappelle, when Dave Chappelle's being deep?
Maybe, yeah. A little bit. A little bit.
Anyways, just thought about that.
True. Okay. Well, yeah. Shout out to the patron who let us know about these episodes. Really do appreciate you. And we will come back with the second episode of season 101. So we'll see you then. Peace.